you see that guy walking around with a ukulele on the campus?
They talk about Adam Sandler on the 51st dates?
No. I think his name's Derek.
Yeah!
Do you remember the first time you were in love? Maybe it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe 1 year. Maybe it was a few months ago, weeks, days. Maybe you just looked to your right and suddenly fell in love at first sight for the first time. Do you remember that moment from a few seconds ago? It was amazing, right? Like the first time we breathed in life, opened our eyes to see spirals in life. You remember that, right? The first time you fell off your bike or got scolded because your mom told you, don't touch that knife. The first time you fell in love like that, right? It's hard to remember for some of us, maybe most of us, mostly guys. But I'm not talking about the first time you fell in love with Johnny Depp or the guy with the abs, Tae Yang. Do you remember your first love? The moment you realized that you couldn't go on without this person, and if you did manage to, that it would be hell. You remember it well. The chills that ran down your spine when a simple gesture of them being kind to you that you were so used to suddenly made your heart skip a beat. That even the air around them tasted sweet. How even if they just wanted to be friends, you promised you would be until the very end. Do you remember the first time you were in love? Where you would stare at your screen as if you just had a nightmare or were too scared to be alone, waiting for a text, or if God allowed it, a person would call your phone. Just to hear their voice, you would wait through all of the rings and get to their voicemail, only to be disappointed by the electronic one commanding you to leave a message that you never do. Do you remember the butterflies in your stomach? The ones that fly you so high off into the sky before you realize that you're afraid of heights and all you can see? Well, you can't because you're blinded by the light. The light that shines forth where you'll look back at the dark and say, that was mine before, but without regrets. Do you remember the first time you fell in love and promised to never forget? But you forgot to never make a promise? Where you're feeling all bliss, easily fall for a kiss, making up excuses like, I stumbled onto your lips. Do you remember those corny lines? The illusions of future forming in your mind, rewriting the past, so when you look back, all you can do is smile and laugh before you cry. Do you remember what it felt like to lose your breath? Telling yourself love was till death and that they're the very best, and you get upset when they left, where all you can think of is the beating of their chest and how you would hold in your air without care, thinking your heart would stop long enough for the rhythm of your beats to synchronize. Do you remember the look in their eyes when he said, I think I fell out of love? Thinking love something you can fall in and out of? Will you remember the first time you fall in love? Or like all the times you thought you were before, fade away like castles?